Under Alabama law, it is illegal to target African American children through abortion.
The Baby Q case is specifically requesting that the abortion industry no longer be able to legally target one group of people based on the color of their skin.
Hello, my name is Sam McLure, and I'm the lead attorney on the Baby Q case.
And I am Catherine Davis, the president and founder of the Restoration Project, a pro-life, pro-family, pro-education organization that right now is focused on life, because without life, there's no family that needs an education.
So currently in Alabama, about 60% of abortions are perpetrated on African American women, but African Americans only make up 27% of the population.
We have known for a long time that the abortion industry has targeted Black babies in their eugenic quest for population control. But after Margaret Sanger, the next president of Planned Parenthood was Alan Guttmacher. And Alan, at the same time that he was the president of Planned Parenthood, was also the vice president of the American Eugenics Society. And he was the one who laid the foundation for what we see today in Planned Parenthood.
How does the eugenics movement, everything we just described, play into Planned Parenthood and how they operate?
Well, Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist. She believed that some people were well born and others were not, and she launched an initiative to control the birth rate of those she considered most dysgenic, which was the Black community. In 1939, she launched a Negro project that would pay Black ministers and others of influence to teach and preach birth control from the pulpit in an effort to control the number of children that Blacks were having in this nation.
Wow. So Planned Parenthood was started as an organization to use the Nazi Germany language, exterminate undesirables from the population.
Absolutely.
And that was African Americans specifically.
Absolutely.
So in 1939, it's obvious, historically documented, that Planned Parenthood was designed to target the African American community.
Yes.
Is that practice still in effect today? Is a new tree planted, or are we still seeing the fruit from that same tree?
Well, you know how they prune trees so that they'll develop more fruit and healthier fruit? We're seeing the pruned tree today, because Planned Parenthood is more successful today in impacting the Black birth rate than they ever have been in the past. They're the leading provider of abortion services in the nation, and they have specifically provided their services in Black neighborhoods. And how do we know that?
Right.
Because there was a study done in 2012 to see where they have located their surgical centers, and that study revealed that 79% of their surgical facilities are in a Black or Latino neighborhood.
Planned Parenthood, the American abortion industry, started with this stated goal of eliminating African American people, and now 80% of their facilities are located in predominantly African American neighborhoods.
They are being quite successful in terminating the lives of children. There were 18,841,000 and some change Black people. We have aborted more than 20 million Black children since Roe v. Wade. So we've, in effect, aborted more than the entire Black population in America in 1960. And that can only come because the Black community is being targeted. In June of 2020, 300 of their employees wrote an open letter, and in that open letter, they acknowledged that they had done reproductive harm to women of color, and they acknowledged that they are built on a systemically racist, white supremacist foundation. So they are now acknowledging their sin, so to speak, but they're not willing to stop the targeting because they are still in Black neighborhoods, and they are still aborting black babies. Last year, their annual report said they did 354,000 plus abortions. And if 80% of their facilities are in black and brown neighborhoods, whose children will they terminate?
And so there is a systematic pattern of continuing that vision that Margaret Sanger had, that Alan Guttmacher had. It's not some bygone era of the past. It is a continuing, ongoing pattern to eliminate African American children from the population.
That's absolutely true. And they are being specific. They say, well, no, we're just helping the poor, we're taking the services to people who have been denied access to health care. And so we're going to be this health care provider, but the only so-called health care that they do is abortion, and then that health care is substandard. Well, let me just say, 75% of us are not poor. 75% of the black community are not in poverty. And so we don't need you to locate your centers in our neighborhoods because of our economic status. Our economic status is fine, and we're fine.
There are millions and millions and millions of people made in the image of God that, because of the abortion industry's evil purpose, evil intent, carrying on to this very day, those people never had the chance to breathe.
That's exactly right. And they are continuing in their effort to say that black children in the womb have no value.
Right.
Now, they don't mind selling the body parts of the black children that they abort, but their messaging is that these children in the womb have no value and that they should be able to continue terminating the lives of black children in the womb.
And Planned Parenthood's response to that is, we're not doing any injury, because African American children in the womb may be humans, but they're not persons with the same legal rights that you and I have. And the Baby Q lawsuit seeks to address that very misconception that targeting African American children in the womb has no injury. There's nothing to see here, and that's the abortion industry's response to the Baby Q lawsuit. Baby Q is a pseudonym for an African American child in the womb that represents a class of persons in Alabama, all children in the womb, all African American children in the womb in Alabama. So Baby Q represents that class. This lawsuit is against every abortion clinic in Alabama, from Planned Parenthood to all the independent providers, and it is asking the court to declare that Alabama law should be enforced by the governor, attorney general, and district attorney. Now, what's interesting, what you said is that African American children are persons. They've always been persons. Before Dred Scott was overturned by the United States Supreme Court, African Americans were persons. It just took that decision, that moment by the court, for them to be legally recognized. So in Alabama in 2018, the people of Alabama amended the Alabama Constitution to say that it is the public policy, the law of the state of Alabama, to protect all life in the womb. But so far, that hasn't had any effect. It hasn't been enforced. Every week that goes by, 80 members of Baby Q's class lose their life to abortion. 80 African American children's lives are exterminated by this eugenics industry through abortion. In 2019, the Alabama State Legislature passed the Human Life Protection Act, which criminalized abortion. It outlawed it completely. Yet that law is not being put into effect. African American children are still being targeted by the abortion industry and being exterminated. So, Baby Q, this lawsuit has come to the court and asked the courts to declare that the governor, attorney general, should be enforcing Alabama pro-life law. The 9th Amendment and the 10th Amendment give the Alabama the sovereign jurisdiction to define who is a person, and Alabama's done that. And it is the role of the governor, attorney general, district attorneys to enforce that law. Alabama law is that African American children in the womb have inestimable value. They are persons and they deserve to be protected.
And it's important that people understand that the Baby Q case is specifically requesting that the abortion industry no longer be able to legally target one group of people based on the color of their skin. And that's what many in the abortion industry have been doing. They have been making millions, and today it's billions of dollars from taking the lives of little black persons in the womb. And this case is saying enough. Enough. And it is requesting that Alabama, that the governor in most states has the legal obligation to enforce the laws of that state. And this case is saying, come on, Governor, come on, Attorney General, do what you took an oath of office to do and protect the lives of innocent children in the womb, especially those children who are being illegally targeted by the abortion industry.
If you're watching this and you're wondering, great information, but what can we do to get involved? What can we do to help? How would you answer that question?
First thing is pray, because this is a spiritual battle as much as it is a natural battle. But you can also write your legislators. You can also write the governor and say, I am a citizen and I want my voice to be heard on this issue, and we want you to enforce the laws of Alabama with regard to black children in the womb. You can also write opinion pieces to your local newspapers and let them know that you are aware of this ground-shaking case, and you could also attend the case. Find out when the hearings are happening and tune in. Come down to the courtroom on the day of the hearing and join us in taking a stand for the babies in the womb.
For more information, you can visit the equalityproclamation.com, and please pray, please support us, stay up to date on that information. We'll be trying to put out updates as they become available. The research will be there, and please support us. Thank you.
Thank you.